As the next Canadian federal election approaches us, we are faced with another US style situation. Many of the powers that be in Ottawa feel that our elections are going to be interfered with by Russia. Now, as a result, what the Canadian government has done, or more specifically, Katrina Gould, the Democratic Institutions Minister, has created a declaration that has been signed on by Facebook, Google, and Microsoft to eliminate any potential interference with the election. Now, what they claim that they're going to do is get rid of what they call fake accounts. Now, here's the thing. How do you define a fake account? Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that a fake account is one who disagrees with you. Let me put it to you this way. In the mainstream media, there is a range for which you are allowed to criticize the system. There is a range for which you are allowed to criticize the policies and the actions of the government, or more specifically, the capitalist class and their representatives in the government. Now, time was that you had a whole mass media, which was literally everything. You only ever got anything through the mainstream media, and that absolutely influenced opinion. But as we've seen across the developed world, much of the opinion of people is deviating from that, because now they're able to get new information through social media and other electronic mediums. So the question is, how do they control that dissenting opinion once again? Well, it appears that what's going to happen is that dissenting opinion are now going to be called fake accounts, or Russian influence. I mean, we've already seen this in the United States. Literally anybody who disagrees with the mainstream realm of which you're allowed to criticize is considered foreign interference. I mean, this has gotten to completely absurd proportions where, like, literally anyone who disagrees with mainstream opinion is now a Russian bot. I mean, we've totally seen the Americans do this. The same thing appears now to be coming here. Now, when I say that there's a mainstream opinion that you're allowed to criticize, what I mean is you are allowed to criticize things that are conflicts between members of the capitalist class and their representatives in government. You're allowed to criticize a position that which the capitalist class is divided over. But anything that criticizes the system in general, you're not allowed to do. Here's an example of that limitation. Whether it's liberal media or conservative media, you're allowed to criticize the police for carrying out a killing or even doing something illegal. But if you criticize the police as being a systemic abuse of human rights, or that those abuses are inherent to a police system and the way that it functions under capitalism as a form of population control, then you've gone too far. I mean, conservatives can cry all the time, oh, the liberals are the thin blue line, blah, blah, blah. And liberals can go on about, oh, the crooked cops, and conservatives want to pretend they don't exist. That's the limits of liberal critique. It's some cop who did this. It can't be something systemic within the police itself. And controlling that debate is what we're seeing in Canada right now. You can criticize the system, but within a certain scope. You can criticize things in the system, but you can't criticize the system itself. That is the red line. That's the limit to liberal critique. And the demonization of that is what we're seeing with Canadian politics and this deal that has been signed on by Facebook, Google, and Microsoft. It is those ideas which these social media outlets are working with the Canadian government to censor. Because When this idea was put out, they turned around and said, well, if they don't do this, then we kind of have to regulate it. So they're pretty much telling them, you have to go along with this, or basically we're going to royally interfere with your social media business. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.